Welcome back and welcome to my January TBR. If you haven't seen my December wrap up, I will leave it linked up here as to what I managed to get to in the month of December. January, always exciting, new starts the year, all the new books that are going to be published this year, and there are a load of them coming out this week in January. It's quite intimidating how many books are coming out at this first 2 months of the year. It's crazy. This month I am doing 2 readathons. I'm currently doing the Audiobooks readathon, which runs from the 6th of January for that first week, whichever you consider to be the first full week of January. I will put a link to the website in the description box below in case you want to take part. I am a Audiobooks expert, so if you have any questions, do let me know in comments as well. Love Audiobooks. It happens 3 times a year and it's always so much fun because it's such a low intensity readathon. There aren't specific challenges. And then I am also doing the Get Shit Done readathon, which lasts all month, and I will come on to that as I tell you about my TBRs. So let's crack on with the books that are released in January that I want to read. First of all, we have a book which is already out in ebook, but I have pre-ordered the audiobook, and this is the sequel to The Kissing Booth by Beth Reekles, as known on Netflix fame, and that is Going the Distance, which is, yes, sequel to Kissing Booth. It comes out on audiobook on the 16th of January, but the ebook is already out now. I'm very excited about reading it, and I will share my thoughts with you in my wrap up. I do have the Kissing Booth book versus movie video, which I will leave linked up here as well in case you haven't seen that. But very excited that we now have a sequel, and I'm putting off reading the ebook because I want to listen to the audiobook, so that's why I haven't picked this one up yet. Then published on January the 7th, so the day that this is going to be uploaded on my Kindle, I have We Used to Be Friends by Amy Spalding. As I film this just now, we're already a couple of days into January and I have already started this, and it's lovely so far, so fingers crossed it continues in the same direction. Very excited about reading this one, and that is a US publication date. Then I have 4 books that are released on January the 9th in the UK. Well, the first of these, again, it's one of these situations where I was pre-ordered the audiobook for this one. The Kindle book is already out. It was released in December, but this one comes out on audiobook and I believe paperback on the 9th of January, and this is Unexpected Lessons in Love. So I do have a proof copy from NetGalley, which I haven't dived into yet because I decided that I wanted to pre-order the audiobook, so I'll be doing this one on audio. Then we have Make Do and Mend a Broken Heart by Katie Lovell. I love Katie Lovell's writing. I have had this on my Kindle for too long. I'm really sorry I haven't got to it yet, but it means that I can put it on my January TBR, and this one also comes out on the 9th of January in the US. And then also coming out on the 9th of January, no, in the UK, sorry, correct myself on that one. Also coming out on the 9th of January in the UK is The Telephone Box Library by Rachel Lucas, which I'm also excited about because I have seen one of these little free libraries inside a telephone box and it intrigued me so much. So now there's a book about it and there's other things that go on in the book. Very, very exciting. Then on January 23rd, we have the start of a new series from Holly Hepburn. And this is the Brightwater Bay series. So this is going to be released in 4 parts throughout the next year. The first part comes out on January the 23rd. I have it pre-ordered, so it will land on my Kindle. And this is my other January release that I want to get to. Then I have a January release, which is also a buddy read. And as of filming this, I am very nearly finished it. This one also comes out on the 9th of January in the UK. And this is Mr. Nobody by Catherine Steadman. This proof copy was sent to me by the lovely people at Books in the City, aka Simon & Schuster UK. And yeah, you can see I am so nearly done with it. It's getting so exciting. And I'm doing this as a buddy read with the lovely Hayley. I was hoping to have finished this by the time I started Audiobooks, but I didn't want to rush the ending and I wanted to kind of wait for her to catch up to where I was as well. So by the time you see this, it will already be finished, but as of filming this, it's not yet. And then I have another buddy read that's going to go on after Battle of Books is done, and this is a book of short stories, so I'm going to be buddy reading this one with Beautifully Bookish Bethany, and it's been a while since we did a buddy read, but this is short stories. I think there's 10 of them, and we're going to read a story a day and talk about it. This is where I can't find my contents page. Oh my goodness, the contents page is so far in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, sorry, only 8 short stories in here. So we'll read this over the course of a week. And this is Her Body and Other Parties, which is by Carmen Maria Machado, and this was a National Book Award finalist, and we've both had it on our radar for a little while, so we decided that we were going to buddy read it in January, and this is what we're going to do, a story a day, and discuss it, and I might film the process. If you'd be interested in that, do let me know in the comments, because I think it might be interesting to kind of film my thoughts at the end of each of the short stories, obviously spoiler free, obviously, and I got this one out the library as well. And then the Get Shit Done Readathon. There are 6 different challenges for this readathon, which lasts all month long. And I saw this one over on Bethany's channel because she is a co-host. So I will leave that linked for you in case you are interested in joining in with this one as well, because I'm very excited about it. So there's 6 challenges plus a bonus challenge. So the first challenge is to read a book from a subscription box. So I have a book of the month club pick from a few months ago that I keep putting on my TBR and I keep not getting to. So I'm really hoping getting to it for this challenge is going to be the ultimate. It's going to make me read it, and this is The Whisper Man. I nearly called it The Whisker Man then. The Whisper Man by Alex North. Tickled myself with the idea that he's the Whisker Man. Oh dear. Just sat alone laughing to myself at something that I said. Okay, The Whisper Man by Alex North, which is a much hyped book. And I think that's one of the reasons I keep getting put off picking it up when I put it on my TBR, because it's got such a lot of hype around it. However, reading Mr. Nobody, which is a bit of a thriller, has got me in the mood for reading another thriller. So hopefully, once I'm done with all my first week of January contemporary releases, I will pick this one up and I will enjoy it. I do have the audio downloaded from the library as well, so I'm excited to get to this one, and this ticks off challenge number 1 from the Get Shit Done Readathon. Then challenge number 2 is to read a book that has been on your TBR the longest. Now, I had a request a couple of videos ago to do a book versus movie on Room by Emma Donoghue. I ended up watching this movie on a plane at some point when it came out-ish. However, I haven't read the book, and the book's been on my radar for a while, so I have borrowed the audiobook from my library, and because it's been so long since the film came out, I won't remember having watched the film either. I can remember roughly what it's about, and I remember really enjoying it, so I'm hoping that the kind of suspenseful nature will come across really well in the book as well, and this ticks off one of the challenges for the Get Shit Done Readathon, and then I'll be bringing you the book versus movie, so you've got that to look forward to. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Then challenge number 3 is to read a classic or a modern classic, and I've been on hold for this one for a little while, and then my hold came on, so I was like, this is the perfect book for this challenge, and this is the graphic novel version of The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I didn't want to watch the series, which is now in what, series 3 or something, before reading the book. So I put this on hold, and obviously it's been very popular because it's a graphic novel of The Handmaid's Tale, which is now a major television series. Thank you, Hulu. And so my hold came in, so this was perfect for meeting this challenge, and it's a graphic novel, which is always nice at the start of the year. Like, some of the illustrations in this one are beautiful, and I know a few people who've really enjoyed the graphic novel, and I don't know if you can see, but the cover of this one is like fully textured. So that's really cool as well. So that one meets challenge number 3. Then I have Finish a Book You Put Down. You might remember this one has also been on a few of my TBRs of late. and I keep picking it up and putting it down. So now I have bought the audiobook, and I'm hoping that restarting this one with the audiobook will help me finish it, because people are raving about it. And this is The Photographer of the Lost by Caroline Scott, and over here I believe it is called The Poppy Wife. I think it's called The Poppy Wife. In the UK it's The Photographer of the Lost, and this is the proof copy. It's got that like hidden writing thing on that there's just not enough light this afternoon. There you go. A Photographer of the Lost. There's barely any light left this afternoon. So this is a book I picked up and put down, and this one also covers the bonus challenge for the Get Shit Done readathon, which I will tell you about in a moment. Then for challenge number 5 is to start or end a series. And I've already spoken to you about the start of a new series. That is the Brightwater Bay series. So Broken Hearts to Brightwater Bay by Holly Hepburn is going to meet my challenge of this one. And this one comes out at the end of January as well. So it's nice to kind of space out the readathon as we go along. And then challenge number 6 is to read a book that's for review or a book that was a gift. And basically all my January releases that I've talked about, as well as The Photographer of the Lost, were all books for review. So that majorly ticks off that challenge. And then we have, the bonus challenge, which is to read a book that meets 3 or more prompts. The Photographer of the Lost is a book for review that I put down that's been on my TBR for ages, since I was sent it, which was ages ago. It hasn't been on there as long as Room has, but it's been on my TBR a long time. So if I manage to finish that one, I will have done the bonus challenge of ticking off a book that meets 3 challenges. Obviously, doing 2 readathons and the things that are associated with those, it's just not enough. So I've got a couple of other books that I would like to get to because my library holds came on them. So I have one book that I have left over from my December TBR, which is a graphic novel. It's The Best That We Could Do by Tai Bui, which is a graphic memoir. You can see I have started it. I think I started this like New Year's Day or 2nd of January when I was hanging out. But I put it down to pick up my About a books this week. But it is definitely on my January TBR. And then we have an audiobook which came on hold from the library, which I've been on hold for since it came out, and that is Inside Out by Demi Moore, which I want to listen to. And during About a Books readathon, it always helps to have a couple of audiobooks on your TBR, so that is one of them. The other audiobook, which is on my TBR for About a Books, which I have already almost finished, I've literally got I think about 30 minutes left of it, and that is The Witches Are Coming by Lindy West, which again I feel like I've been on hold for forever, and it always happens that all your holds come at once, doesn't it? So it came, and now I am just about finished listening to it, which is great. And then another one which I've had out, I think I had on my November TBR, and it's kind of cycled back around again. I had to return it to the library. I put another hold on it. Here it is. And this is Look Both Ways by Jason Reynolds. I do also have this on audiobook, and so it's going to be a good candidate for reading during the About a Books readathon, because you need an audiobook. And this is again a collection of short stories that all have a link together. So this one is 10 blocks, a story told in 10 blocks, and this is a middle grade novel. So I think I've got quite a good selection of short stories, graphic novels, adult novels, romance, thriller, young adult, middle grade, non-fiction. I think my January TBR is really quite well spread out in terms of genre and the kind of books that I have to read. So that makes me really happy. Excited that I have 2 readathons on the go, excited that it's About a Books week, and looking forward to kind of ticking things off my readathon. We're on, the 6th of January as I'm filming this, 7th of January as you're seeing this, and things are going fairly well. Have not actually finished a book yet, but it's going to happen. I'm very close to finishing at least 2 of those things that I've just spoken to you about, so that's something. Whether I will read as much as I did last January, who knows? Last January was really, really good reading for me, but I like the spread that I've got on my reading list, so fingers crossed that means it goes well. As I say, those readathon details will be in the description box. Let me know in the comments, if you would be interested in seeing a reading vlog for my thoughts on each of the short stories in Her Body and Other Parties. Let me know what's on your January TBR. What are you excited to get to? Have you already read all your January releases and you're now moving on to, you know, April, March? Or the other way around. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed so that my next video lands in your subscription feed, including that book versus movie of Room. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon with my About a Books vlog as well. Got that coming up. I'll see you then.